How are you working on patience for, just letting the things come to you, but also being in control of going and finding those opportunities and scaling your business?
I guess an outcome that might never ever happen that we've thought in our heads. And it's like, dude, just relax. It's all good.
You got $1 million company. You're probably going to make yourself maybe 300-400K.
Yeah.
And you're not even worried about the money anymore.
No.
You're not trying to make more, but you want to get the systems in the back end fulfilled.
Absolutely.
Today, I'm sitting down with Caleb Harris again, the man making over $1 million in his business. He's not been open a year. Now, here's the crazy part. He's only 23 years old. So if you are 23, sub 23 or around that area, and you want to have a company that makes $1 million a year, this is the podcast that you're going to have to listen to. Let's jump right in. Caleb, you just lived in Texas for 2 weeks. What was that about?
It was great, man. So we're growing fast, we're scaling fast, and I went to Texas for about a month, a little over a month, and just marketing a ton. Texas, there's businesses like every 100 yards. There's millions and millions of people and growing in Dallas, DFW area. So it was good. We had some fun and met a lot of good people. It's fun.
Yeah. What was your end goal for going to Texas?
It was to market specifically to dealerships and mortgage brokers because that's really our business. We market to the masses with those people, and we just let them know, we are the best at what we do. If you want to work and partner with a good insurance agency that answers the phone every single time, we are the people you want to work to. And at the end of the day, it's just a numbers game. It's how many people that you can talk to. I think people quit before they've done enough. And that's what we're all about. And also, not only that, to market to new businesses, I'm wanting to hire a team in every state. Right now, we're licensed in Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, Tennessee, now Florida. But our next big state we're going to go to is Texas. So super excited about it.
Yeah.
Going fast.
But Texas is a lot of money in Texas.
Oh, dude,
and it's fairly cheap overhead.
There's a Ferrari. I see a Ferrari probably every 3 days or something.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
That's kind of like going to Miami for the first time.
Yeah, Miami's a different level, even from Texas.
Yeah, it's just everyone. But I feel like no one actually makes money in Miami. Like Texas, I feel like there's some real money being made, but Miami just seems like everything's being spent there.
I think Texas ballers are so much more low key than someone you'd see in Miami. You could see the guy walking down the street. He might look like he doesn't even have 50 cents in his pocket. It's probably worth $100 million. My grandpa was actually a CEO of North Dallas Bank. They were a multi-9-figure company. Almost $1 billion company. And that's one of the things he taught me. He's like, Caleb, you don't need to look rich. You need to actually be rich. In today's society in 2025 is everyone would rather look rich than actually be rich.
Yeah. Yeah. People get really caught up in the perception of what they have. And me and you were just having a conversation before it's on camera that, you got $1 million company. You're probably going to make yourself maybe 300-400K.
Yeah.
And you're not even worried about the money anymore.
No.
You're not trying to make more. Because you want to get the systems in the back end fulfilled.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think to a certain point, you put so much work in every single day and you look at the paycheck that you're getting each month and it seems to go further and further down the list compared to what the health of the business as a whole, right? As an entrepreneur, as a leader, as the CEO, your job is to scale and make sure the company is growing, and not only the company, but the team. You're orchestrating and you're putting the right people in the right places, because if you don't, you will suffocate, right? I'm not in the business to make a bunch of money personally. We all want to make money, right? That's a side goal to everyone. But at the end of the day, if you're a true entrepreneur, you want your business to succeed first, then the health will drop down to you.
Yeah. Well, and it's the, when you own a business and you get to a certain point of wealth, you're not really doing anything for money. You're doing it because the game's fun. You're in business because you just want to win. And a byproduct of winning is money. If a byproduct of winning was something else, I'd still do it in the society where we need money to win. So it's kind of there's a status thing. There's so many things that kind of funnel into it.
1,000%.
If you want to go buy some stuff, do whatever you want,
Yeah.
you get to do it. But especially me and you were it's funny because we're kind of same side of where our growth journey is.
Exactly.
And we're both man, we're making enough to be fine. We can afford plenty of stuff.
Thankfully, we're not worried about scraping by to feed our family.
Yes. Or you're okay, it's fine. But we're we work every day, all day. So how do we get to a point where, not because we don't like working, but how do we get to a point where we can have a company that we can trust that it'll run itself?
Sure.
And the trust part feels really hard. So where do you feel you're working on for trusting your team and trusting people to give them more of that power to run the business for you?
That's an amazing question. It's funny you say that because I just had a harder conversation, with a colleague of mine, somebody I work with. And as a leader, I think that's one of the toughest things that you have to do is to sit down with someone and tell someone something that they might not like, that might hurt a little bit. But if you do hire the right people, the good ones will take it personally and be better right after the conversation and humble themselves enough to say, hey, you're absolutely right. So trust is an amazing thing. And I think like anything in life, it is a numbers game. You know, you have to get enough people in there to find the right ones. But I think as entrepreneurs, it is one of the toughest things because you start out doing everything yourself. You wear multiple hats. You're the salesperson, you're the general manager, you're the accountant, you're everything. So in the first 3 years, to me, we've only been in business for 7 months and we're $1 million company. But I want to build the right habits very quickly because people, Alex Hormozy says this all the time, entrepreneurs, they live the same 6 months over and over and over again and they never change. Right? So that's really important to me is just being able to back away from working inside the business and working on the business. And I think as entrepreneurs, we have to be willing to make less money up front to make more money in the long run and really to decrease our stress levels, you know, because we're going to go crazy if we keep doing the monotonous daily task, you know, that we really shouldn't be doing. Yeah.
And that's the idea on my end for my business is like, I just hate contracts so much. They're so annoying. It's so tedious.
Yeah.
But I know I need contracts, especially after watching Hormozy put out a new video that he was like, just make the contracts now. Yeah. And I get that because in the past, like, I haven't had operating agreements. I haven't had certain things just because I'm like, make it work out. And if you don't do something, I'll just find you where you live and beat you down. Like, but sadly, you know, there's other charges for, you know, using your force. So whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just so many things. So operationally, let's break it down for you. Where are the top 3 things operationally you feel like you need the most help?
Quoting. You know, I spend the most of my day literally just inputting quotes for customers. The amazing thing is we have an absurd amount of leads that come in every day. You know, I think that's what most businesses struggle with is like they're afraid that they won't have enough business, you know, and they won't make enough money. They won't have enough oxygen to survive. We don't have that problem, right? We have more business than I know what to do with. But one of my goals in 2026 is one, to hire a really good inside salesperson, pay them really well so they can literally just sit at home. They can work wherever you want. You can work at a coffee shop at home, and I just need them to input quotes all day long. It's just data entry. It's just data entry. You know, that's one of the biggest things for me right now. It's like I can't even think because, you know, I'm our top salesperson, right? So, and to me, it's a bad habit to be in. I've got to be able to orchestrate that out. 2, you said top 3 operational problems. Shoot, I can't even think of it because the quoting is such a big issue. I don't know. And really just making sure everyone on our team knows their role, you know, and everyone, you know, knows what to do with deadlines. That's a big thing of 2026 because I hate having conversation at the table. Like, hey, we should do this, this, and this, but no one puts a date and an execution plan behind that. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes an entrepreneur makes as well.
We got 3. Come on, one more.
3. Shoot, 3. Having a good tech stack. I think we're a little disorganized when it comes to technology and like really CRMs, agency management system. That's just always like been one of my weaknesses, you know, being really organized with softwares and just really taking the time to learn that stuff. And to your point, it's like, you know, you're the type of guy, it's like, hey man, just put this stuff up in the forefront and then we'll figure it out later. I'm kind of the same way, but I figured out real quick, like if we've written, you know, 3,000 clients, 3 or 4,000 clients in 7 months, you better have some good softwares to make sure you know where everything's at. Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Like having a CRM, I mean, that was one of the, I made distinct changes in my business when I went from solo guy making 10, 20K a month, owning 1 podcast studio to having 2 locations and jumping to 70. And I was like, that's a lot of extra stuff I have to do now. But I implemented CRM. And before, if someone came in and like wanted a quote or wanted business, they still stay in the new lead pipeline. But now I can be like, all right, I can take a whole look at my sales pipeline. It's like, if I'm ever down at some free time, who's not closed yet? What's up, dude? Quoted you 5 months ago. You didn't close. Do you have car insurance? And if you do, can I try to beat your price?
Exactly.
Like that's where, for me, it's same with podcasting. Like it's helped so much having all those things. And I don't know if you have this issue, but I'm extremely impatient. So I just want everyone to close today. Like I don't I don't want you to think about it. You don't
No.
need to, because I'll give you all the answers and you can just say,
If you have the opportunity to have someone in front of you, like, why would we wait till tomorrow?
Why
it's
would
just
we wait?
another thing on your plate till tomorrow.
why we wait. But I get caught up in the growth aspect of it, of like,
Yeah.
I want to be at 10 million. I want to be there now. And if we're not, like, what the heck? So with that, how are you working on patience for, just letting the things come to you, but also being in control of going and finding those opportunities and scaling your business?
Patience, that's a very interesting one. I think it's just making that slow, steady progress every single day, but at the same time, you're still going a million miles an hour. I think having the mindset of you want everything now, people say that's bad, but in a way, I think it's good, because as entrepreneurs and as people that want to be successful, you want everything and you want it now. But at the same time, you have to be able to, I guess, just be patient, I guess. Sorry, man. Out of it today. I think it's being able to be very clear on what you want. If you know what you want, you know what you have to do to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And having a really good team behind you, being on the same page as you, wanting the same thing. If you have a team, especially business partners that don't want the same things as you, you have a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
So making sure they're on the same team with the same vision, it's very important.
Yeah. Vision alignment's a big thing. How do you go relaying your vision to your teammates?
Really just telling them what you want. The communication line has to be very open. It has to, be frequent. It's amazing how many times you have to tell someone something. I think they say you have to tell someone something like 6 to 8 times before they actually remember it. Mm-hmm. So, it's weekly, it's monthly meetings like, hey, these are our tasks, these are our goals. What are we doing to make sure those are executed? And it's just reminding them, like, why are we here? What are we doing? Because if the foresight and if the vision gets off track, then everything gets scattered and everyone really doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing is I feel like if everyone's on the same mission, because I'd have a hard time really delegating out roles and responsibilities.
Yeah, me
because
too.
there's so much to get done. And if you have the same vision, you would know what to do. Mm-hmm. Like every task you do, is it progressing towards that vision? And if it's not, maybe you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
So, and everyone's always like, oh, what should I do? Like, what's the next thing? And I'm like, I don't want to have to tell you. I want you to just know, which I know is like, it's even like in a relationship where it's like, I just want you to know how I feel. It's like, you got to communicate. Communication's important. I know I kind of hate communication because I really just want people just to do things all day long.
Just read my mind.
Just figure it out. Like I mentioned it once in a Loom video, so find it. I was like, you just got to get it. Now, with 2026 coming around the corner, in like 48 hours, where are you wanting to be at the end of 2026? What would have had to have happened in 2026 for you to look back and think that was an amazing year?
Getting our systems and processes very organized and having a business that is really starting to run by itself. If I go out of town for 3 months, I want to make sure the business does exactly what it would do if I was there every single day in the business. That's the goal is taking me out of the daily task of the businesses and as well as my business partners as well. Mm-hmm. So, having at least 10 salespeople, if we could hire 8 to 9 more salespeople, have a really good customer service rep, and having a software system where it's just very organized for people. Just really streamlining the business where it just runs on its own. That's a successful year, and I know that takes 2, 3, 4, 5 years sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't, but it's just step by step. Putting the right people in place. I want to build more of a team this year for sure.
What about personally?
Personally, make more money. Make more money. But like I touched on it, I just think I'm working way too much in the business, and I would love to replace myself. Mm-hmm. I think we can't specifically replicate us specifically, but I think we can get pretty close. I was talking to my dad the other day, and we were talking about, he's like, Caleb, one of your main goals is to hire more Calebs. How can you replicate yourself? Maybe not exactly, but as close as possible. How do you get salespeople with the same killer instinct as you? Mm-hmm. And that's really tough. And I think, what's your experience with hiring? Like, how do you get really good talent?
So I actually had a conversation with my team yesterday about this. When I was making 10 to 20 a month, I forgot I had a studio.
Yeah.
It was so far removed. I was like, I didn't know I had this thing.
Yeah.
It was autopilot. I didn't make
That's amazing.
as much. Now I had 3 reps. Now the issue were no one was passionate, no one was upselling, and the business was kind of just as is. It didn't really grow, but it ran great. So I was like, all right, now business is growing really, really fast, but I'm in it every day. Maybe I get those because I had part-time people basically,
Right.
but they're in a nice way, nothing special about them. The most basic, I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna do my job. I did it fine. I did it well. I did it. I don't want to talk to you. I want to think about outside of that. Like they just don't care about the business at all. Putting those people in for the stuff that I don't really need you to care about the business, I kind of need again.
Yeah.
So I'm working on finding those people to put them in because then for me, I can sell and close all day.
Did you get rid of those people?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
And
I
when was
replaced
that?
it with full-time people.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I took it from hourly to salary. Now, financially, I was at a point where I was like, I kind of have to pick one. I can't really do both how it's running. And it grew so fast that like someone needs to manage their time and like make sure this is going. Now I have a manager in place. I could be like, all right, they could make sure you're not going over X amount of hours, schedule them, do all that stuff. And I'm like, all right, now we can get those people back in the business and run the podcast. Cause like doing this, I don't need you to be a great salesman for this. It's good, but you don't have to be. I need you to just do the thing. For sure. So for you, it might be like the data entry. Like just enter the data.
Yeah.
You clock in, you clock out. You do your 9 to 5. You make 60, 70K a year, which is a great opportunity in the job market today. I feel like a lot of people don't realize they kind of come in and they're like, I only paid $80,000 a year. And I'm like, you're not worth that. Trust me.
Excuse me? Prove yourself first.
I was like, you have to, there's like a math equation. I think an employee needs to make be worth 5X their pay. Like that's the value you bring. So that's why I'm going to pay you what I pay you. But yeah, finding time, and it's just churn and burn. Man, I went through maybe 15, 20 different part-time people before I found like.
Did you really?
Yeah. Before I found like 2 or 3 that were like.
How are firing conversations?
I don't really fire anybody. So I only hire 1099 contractors. I don't want any W-2. If you get sick or anything, I'm not doing any what do you call it? Like PTO.
PTO, yeah.
Or what is it in the government comes after you and makes you pay for it? What's that word?
I don't know.
When you have a W-2 and they quit.
Yeah.
Or they quit, but you fire them and they need like, you got to pay some kind of workers' comp or something like that. But I still don't want to deal with that. So I went to 1099. So I just stopped scheduling people. I stopped giving them leads. And typically they just die. So here's what I do. Actually, here's what I do.
So it's a slow death for your contractors.
Well, here's what I do. For everybody who is a contractor that works with me and they're not a good fit, I create an environment so uncomfortable that they just don't want to be in it. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Because it removes me, and I hate confrontation. It's a me thing. I'm working on it. It's a 2026 goal of mine. But I just make it so unbearable that they're like, I hate this guy. I don't want to work with him. And I'm like, great. I don't want you
So
either.
they quit instead of you firing them. So it's a mutual agreement. It's like, dude, this is not working out. You know, you can't hang.
Yeah. But you
hang with the
gotta,
heat.
but everyone's different. Like I like working all the time. It's fun.
Yeah.
I like being challenged, and I like doing better than everyone else. Not as an ego thing, but maybe it is. I don't care.
I don't even think like the word like I like working. It's more like we like being productive. We like moving the ball forward. You know, we have this big goal that we want to accomplish, and anything other than activities associated with that goal is an absolute waste of time.
Yeah.
That is the mindset, you know? And it's really hard for people to get in that mode because we have so many distractions. You know, for most people, it's like, man, I really want to build this business. I want to be successful, but I still want to go out on weekends. I still want to do my thing. So there is a level of sacrifice, you know, when you get into something that you really want to do. And that's why we talk about like having a goal. Like, what is the goal? What do you want to do? Whether it's huge or small, you got to know what you want.
Yeah, that's a big part. I know one thing, I think a 2026 goal of mine too is figuring out friendships.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to navigate working I just don't know how to like get work and friends in there. Because every time I ever get friends, it's through work.
Yeah.
And people are like, yeah, I have friends outside of work. And I'm like, where? I don't like anybody. Like I don't talk to them. So it's weird. And it's also funny because all the people that I really would like to hang out with are equally as busy as me. So then you're like, well, no one's ever free because we're all working all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's tough to have, you know, when you grow up and you have certain friends and you guys have similar activities, whether you play sports or do whatever, and then you grow up and you start doing more important things, those old friends will die because you just don't have very much in common. And to your point, you know, it's not that we have, I think you would agree with this. We don't want friends. We want allies to help us reach our goal. You know, we're not looking for people to, you know, I guess go have a drink with or whatever you want to do.
Yep.
It's more just, man, can this guy go into battle with me? You know, if I need him, can I rely on him? You know, does he have the same interests? Is he going through the same things that I'm going through right now? You know, something that's relatable, because a bad feeling is as people that want to be successful, that want to grow a business, it's lonely. You know, you're going to have times where you're not surrounded by a ton of people. And when you are, it's usually because you're directing traffic or you're giving them orders to do something. And that gets tough after a long period of time. So like having people that are going through the same things as you, that can relate, you know, that you can, I guess, express what you're going through to them, you know, because to me, when you're going through something hard, I don't think you should really express that to people like your family. To a certain extent, you have to have brothers and men in place that you can talk to.
Yeah.
Going through the same thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I think the ally analogy is a good analogy to prompt people to be like, you don't. The other thing I probably catch myself when I say this now too, of like, I'll say like, I don't have a lot of friends. And it's like, in my head, I don't really care about friends. Because you're right. I don't want to grab a drink with you.
We don't care about friends, man, at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't want to grab a drink with somebody.
Bad.
Well, no, it's true though. Because I mean, it's a good way to say it is that I want someone who can be dependable. And honestly, like, I want someone that like works with me.
Yeah.
But works with me enough to where it's like kind of removed. Like there's some kind of working relationship, because that's where the friendship's based off of. If
something bad happens, it's not going to ruin the friendship.
Yeah, because if you can manage business together, you can probably manage a friendship together.
Do anything, yeah.
And I think Layla and Alex were like, we had a business relationship before we had a dating relationship, and that gave them a good foundation. And if you can have a good, relationship in business, you can probably have a good relationship outside of business.
Let me ask you this: what's your take on why do you think there's so much? I guess the word is like tension around like doing business with other people. Because if you have business partners, there's obviously, no matter how good your business partners are, there's always going to be tension-filled conversations. There's always going to be that element of we disagree, but we're going to do this anyways. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and as someone who's had probably 5 failed businesses from business partners being the reason they failed.
Yeah,
because I was one who always did all the work, grew the business, and then I had a partner, and I'm like, why are you here? And then I would get really angry because I'm like, you bring no value. You shouldn't even be a part of this. So get your name off of it. As someone who's done that, is I just don't have partners anymore because people don't bring value. What I'll do is I do like rev share. I'll be like, hey, we'll have an agreement where, you do this, I do this. You're not going to benefit if this isn't done, and then I'm not going to benefit if it's not done. Like, I have a good agreement with Jason with Common Ground.
Yeah.
He gets me leads all day. I have a great location. I don't pay any rent. We do a rev share, and it makes a lot of sense. It's a good agreement. Jason and I work awesome together.
Yeah.
And we're both ADHD as hell. We're all over the place, and we own way too many businesses and have too many streams of revenue. But we're both super motivated, and it just works well. But it took me, 8 business partners to figure out what's going to work with me.
Right. So it's the tension rises because you think that they're in a business where they offer no value. Yeah.
If you don't bring value, it creates a lot of resentment.
Do you think it's up to the person, the leader, whatever you want to call him, the person that started the founder of the business? It's your job to really direct traffic and be specific on like what you expect from people. Mm-hmm. Like if you do have business partners, there's always that head wolf. Yeah. Right. There's always the guy that everyone knows like that is the leader. You know? And that's good. If you don't have that in a business, then you're in trouble. Someone's got to be the head. Someone's got to be the leader, orchestrating and directing traffic. Yeah. So I think a big part of it is, to me, it's like if you have business partners, everyone's got to know their role. Everyone's got to take their ego aside and know why they're here. Why are we doing this business? What's your personal goal? What's your goal for this business? Yeah. Right? Because if everyone doesn't know their role, it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah. I think that's a big part is being intentional with expectations and, operating agreements, what the week wants to look like. If someone's not doing something, it's, and I know I'm a little overbearing sometimes. If I see someone sitting down, I'm like, what are you doing? Are you working? And I'll do it. I'll look at him like, what are you working on? And they're like, I'm doing the thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I just asked you to do that. I'm like, thanks, my bad, man, my bad. And I try really hard because I know I don't like
do 4 things at once.
I know. Well, because I like to be calm with people. I don't like when people talk to me. I don't want to talk to anyone that I wouldn't want to be talked to myself.
Yeah.
So that's how I try to manage conversations. But it's hard to always see everything everyone's doing if you don't know it. So then it's like, all right, I have to communicate to you what I want done, and then you need to communicate to me what you're doing.
So you have to you're saying you have to master it yourself before you can tell other people to do it.
Yes. You have to everything. I was watching a Dan Martell video, and I think he has some good things to say about, if an employee's not doing what you want them to do, or a teammate or whoever, it's your fault because you didn't put a system in place. Or let's say you had someone do something and they messed up. Did you have a system in place to prevent that mess up? And if you didn't, it's your fault.
Yeah.
You should have implemented that in the company. So then they check that before they do anything. Like that's the system. And if the system's broken, then it's their fault.
So as entrepreneurs, like a big thing is if you're in a room and you're the smartest person, you're in the wrong room. So as entrepreneurs, like we have to be able to hire people that are better at things than we are. So like we just said, one thought is before you tell someone to do something, you have to be able to master it yourself. But in certain situations, you're not going to be master of the thing that you're hiring for, right? So what do you think the give and take with that? What's your take on that?
The give and take of the mastering versus the relaying of the info?
Yeah, exactly.
I'd say it's give and take.
Like, what's the balance of that? Because we have to hire people that are smarter than us. But at the same time, we have to have a process in a system. It's an intricate question.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We have to have a system and process in place, to tell someone what to do, right? So they don't fail.
I think one of the great things about being an entrepreneur is that you get to be a creator. So you get to create things.
Yeah.
And I love this analogy of there's this famous study done with a bunch of kids, probably like 50 kids in a room. And they, stranger things, these kids. They're electrodes and all this stuff hooked up to them. And they're trying to figure out who a genius is. Where do we find geniuses? And that was found that every kid was a genius. So you're like, what the heck? They all showed signs of a genius. And as the older they got, the dumber they got. So objectively, like it wasn't a who's smarter thing. You just got older and they got dumber. And I believe the reason that is, and I think they kind of came to the same conclusion, is that people start growing up and the awareness drains all the creativity out of them. It drains the openness to change and move quick and like just walk up and say hi to somebody. Like that's sales. Like a kid is a great salesman.
Yeah.
Just everybody. So circling all the way back to your question, that exact thing, I think, has to come with emotional maturity, creativity, and openness. Whoever is the embodiment of that gets to make the calls. And you're not smarter, but you're the one who is like, you create everything. Like you created the business, you created the systems, like you are the creator. And as the creator of something, you then have to give note and say, this is what I am creating, go and do. And then at that point, it's just finding the right people to do with you. And then you're not having any ego because it's like, I'm just, I'm making a sandcastle right now. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
You want to help me make a sandcastle?
I need you to build the roof. I need you to build the gate. Exactly.
I need you to help me make a sandcastle. That's it.
I love that.
So it's not about me trying to figure out who's like my ego, your ego, these thoughts, those thoughts. It's like, we're just building here. Human
nature is so interesting. That is there's such a psychology around that. Is like, man, if I say this, what's he going to think about it? And is this outcome going to happen if I say this? We often think so much about, I guess, an outcome that might never, ever happen that we've thought in our heads. And it's like, dude, just relax. It's all good.
Yeah.
Take your ego out of it. Who cares what the other guy thinks? Who cares what your team thinks? Just do what you've set out to do. That's the only thing that matters. The only thing that matters.
Yeah. And a funny thing for me too, especially my business model, is that like everyone could quit tomorrow. Okay, I have a lot of money in auto pays.
Yeah.
That's great. Will I be working my butt off? Yeah. Will I go crazy? Probably. Make a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Oh, well.
The worst case scenario, we just make a bunch of money.
Worst case. Man, every time something happens, I'm like, this is great. Like it's a great opportunity. You got to look at everything as opportunity to be like, you know, a client. Let's say every time a client just gets super mad at me and it's just treat me like absolute dog shit. I'm like, all right, this is a good opportunity for me to learn. I shouldn't work with this type of person. Like these type of people. I can now see these signs in someone else, be like, we're not going to be a good fit. Or I can see the sign in someone else, be like, okay, we will be a good fit. And working with people like you, Jason, my clients, I'm like, all right, these are easy clients to work with. They're good, and we understand how this process works. Make me understand I need to work with these people more. And then the clients that cause me, it's always like 3 clients that are like 9% of the headache, which is the funny part, even if we have like 80 clients. So it's like, all right, I just need to not work with these.
Yeah.
Like I'll just make less. It's totally worth it.
I think one of the most mentally draining things in life is surrounding yourself with people that drain your energy, that you just don't want to be around. It's just God made us all different. And if you surround yourself with people that you just don't like, I mean, life is miserable.
Yeah.
Life is really miserable, dude.
Very.
And I've yet to find, you know, a really good group of people that I really love being around. You know, I love my business partners. I like my team, but you know, having a very, very niche circle that you can absolutely rely upon is like very important.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you're not gonna be happy.
Yeah. It's always such a give and take and the thing is too, people like us, it's really hard for us to work in another business, and it's hard for us to hire someone else like us, because like us would mean they'd want to start their own business. Yeah. Like us would mean they want to take over. Because if I have worked in another business during my transition phase, and I wanted to own it, and I quickly started making more than everyone there, and they're like, what the heck? Just because I know that's us. So we kind of can't surround in our business, we can't have other people like us because we're just going to butt heads with us.
Well, everyone's unique. Yeah. Everyone's unique. Like having people in certain places because they're unique to that position. You know, if we just replicate ourselves, like that's just kind of meaningless. You know, if I hire the same person that's exactly like me, what's the point of that? I would like to replicate myself actually one time. I could use myself for a bunch of different things.
I know that I could do so much stuff. There would be so much. Like if I replicated myself but took out the I want to own it mentality, I probably have an army. I could probably buy Russia.
Dude, I often like wish I had like a twin brother. Yeah. You know, like same age, looks exactly like me, you know, and we thought the exact same. Yeah. Like, that would be absolutely crazy. Yeah. I feel like I could I'm already going to take over the world, but I could really take over the world with 2 of me.
Yeah. I mean, that's the man mentality. And I think a lot of people don't understand, as men, we just want to take over. It's just what we want to do.
Just go to war and win. We just want to win. We want the feeling of battle and glory. And it's just, and I think we have to be careful with that to a certain extent. I think that's the building blocks of like our biological functions, is that's how we operate. You know, we want to conquer. We want to go to battle. We want to get hurt and learn and come back to our family. Yeah. You know, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. It's the, because I recently started venturing out in other hobbies, as you know, and I have this like giant reptile collection. We're up to like 12 animals, and each one outside of like 2 of them could kill me if they wanted to. Like, it's a dangerous thing that I'll be dealing with. But the thing is, you have this taming process, and I love the taming process. I like let's take this monster and make it manageable. Let's take this beast, and it can apply to business. It can apply to friendships, partnerships, conversations. It's like. And I like the gem of this analogy too, of like, we can do a really, really hard thing that most people can't do, that kind of scares most people, and we're going to kill it. We're going to do it better than no one could ever imagine. And that motivates us.
I think Jordan Peterson, to what you just said, is like, be a monster first and then tame it. Jordan Peterson says this. He says, become an absolute monster that you feel like you can't control, and then tame it. The worst thing you can do is just not naturally be enough, right? You have to build yourself into really to be just as strong as possible first. That's why I say to most men is like, Caleb, how do I be successful? Go to the gym. Get fit first. Don't worry about business. Don't worry about anything else. Go get fit first. Go to the gym, get big muscles, go get strong, and then other things will fall in place. You know, when I think back in my life of like, you know, how I've built certain traits and certain disciplines, just working out all my life. I started working out, you know, when I was 13, 14, 15 years old, seriously. And it's just helped me along the way so much, like the most important part of my day is my workouts. One of them, because it sets your day up, going through pain at first physically, so your mind can handle the mental pain of every day is, I think, very important.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I've been like, I'll get really good at the gym. I'll get really busy at work.
Yeah.
And then I fall off of the gym and then I start to go a little crazy. I'm like, God, I need to get back in the gym.
Yeah.
And it's that cycle of like, just stick through it. Because I have a hard time of like, if a client needs something done, I'm like, I just drop everything. I do things to the client.
It's the most important thing in your life. When you're in business, I do agree with that.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I went to the gym at 7:00. I usually try to go like first thing in the morning because I know my phone's going to blow up just like you. But I had to go at like 7 p.m. last night. I got to work out for like 15 minutes and I got like 4 or 5 other phone calls.
Yep.
And I went in the back room of Planet Fitness, was working, and then I had to leave because it was, 8, 9 o'clock. It's like, dang, dude, I want to work out.
Yep.
But the business is the most important thing because that's just the stage that we're in.
Yeah. Well, in my head, I'm starting to be like, all right, what can I sacrifice? What sacrifices am I okay with making right now?
It's a good
like,
question.
What am I okay with? And I think especially because my gym routine is like every other day, I can manage it.
Yeah.
I have one day where like
pull legs.
Yeah, mine's just upper lower. I do upper one day.
Oh,
lower.
shoot. Okay.
Just upper lower.
Okay. I like that.
And that's the best split I've ever found.
Dude, I'm going to try that today.
Do it. Do upper lower.
Okay.
Do one day on, one day off. You'll grow more than you ever have in your life. And dude, I was looking back at my videos. I was like, God, I'm a monster. I need to do this shit again. I was like repping 605 on deadlifts, conventional,
Big
like
dog.
benching 345 for reps. I was like, man,
You're a big dude, bro. You're a big dude.
it feels good. Well, when I was doing strongman, I was beating guys in strongman doing for 20 years. So I'm like, I need to get back to that.
Yeah.
And
What do you weigh? 240?
I have to check if I pooped or not. It's about a 10 pound difference. I think the heaviest I ever got was like 255.
Yeah.
That was the heaviest I ever got. And then I haven't been sub 220 in maybe like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Like 220 is like definitely the lowest I ever get.
So when was the gym like the most important to you? Like from 1 to 10, and then what do you think it is now?
A year ago.
A year ago.
A year ago when I was competing heavy
Every
in
day?
strongman.
Working
Every
out?
other day still.
Yeah.
But it was like, even on my off days, it was like, all right, going to go to sauna, we're going to go on our walk. Like, it was, my whole life was
Your
like,
first priority.
the whole life. Now, listen, I was making like, I did okay. Nothing was great. I mean, actually, I probably was great in the gym. But then business was okay. But I want business to be great. So I'm like, all right, how can I get both good? Like good business, good gym, and then keep working on the business to be even more of a sustainable monster, to run itself and be more of its own personality. And I can do my own thing as well. And it's not subtracting. Because typically, if I work out, I'm better in my business.
Yeah, me too.
So I need to have a temporary time where I bring the level down. Or maybe if we're like here, like bring it level, spend 6 months there, stabilize. And then now I'll personally feel really like I have a lot more energy. I'll be more juiced up. And we can take the lever and come here. But now this doesn't need to come down.
Yeah. Do you think in life in general, like you said, as we evolve, do you think, what is the reality of things? Do you think something always has to give if you want to master something? Or is it reality that you can do all of it and you can do both?
I think you got to look in the mirror and say, go fuck yourself.
It's pretty strong.
Yeah. If someone's like, nah, you can't. Go fuck yourself. Anybody. To me too. It's like, I have to balance. What the fuck you mean it's balance? You want balance? You're going to die. How's that balanced?
Yep.
Like, and here's the thing. You got to have that level of anger. And you got to have a level of, I don't care, at the exact same time. And it's really hard to manage them both. But that is what gets so much done.
I like the word violent effort.
Yes.
I like that. I like that phrase. It's like you have to be just violent with your activity. It's like, man, if you do too much of this, this will give. It's like, no, I'm going to try to do all of it. And if I want to focus on one thing, yes, this might give, but it's because I chose to do it because I want to put so much blood, sweat, and tears into this that this will give.
Yeah.
Right. But you're right. It's like, shoot for the stars. Do everything that you possibly can first. And, if something does drop off, then whatever.
Yeah. And oftentimes it's your mental health, your sanity.
Yeah.
And when I find myself going crazy and being like, dude, I just don't know what's going on anymore. I'm like, okay, me having this feeling is good because that's what's giving. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's me after like the 20-second quote of each day.
You're like, man,
It's like, dude, I can't type on the computer.
Yeah.
But I often think it's like, man, you know, an insurance agent would kill to be in this position.
Yes.
Like I've got insurance coming out of my ears right now.
Yes. And you got to be grateful. I'm like, man, I'm 26. I have a company doing like almost $1 million now.
Yeah.
I'm a marketing agency, which is like really hard to grow, especially in today's day and age.
Everyone wants to be in a marketing agency.
Everyone wants to do marketing.
Everyone wants to do social media, man.
Everybody. But no one's like getting it. I actually had Jack Neal, when he came here, he was like, dude, because I told him some of my numbers. He was like, you are the top performing podcast studio in the US.
No way.
Yeah. He was like, they're like maybe Miami or New York does those numbers.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Dude,
And I was
beast.
like, go fuck yourselves. I was like, nice. I don't ever get to talk to the podcast studios. I don't talk about their numbers. I just see their pricing online. I'm like, well, that's stupid. Why would I pay that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, let me just do it myself my way. So that was a nice reaffirming thing to hear, just because I think I've figured out a different niche. Like I use podcast studios as a lever for a marketing agency instead of any other way. Just like you use car dealerships as a lever for car insurance.
Yep.
We just found different levers to pull and they work out well.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, that's really all business ends at the end of the day is I just did it first. Not that smart.
And not only did it first, faster.
First fast.
Yes, first and fast. Like I think a lot of times in business, like people are just so slow.
So slow.
So slow. It's like, dude, if you want more leads, just get faster. Come through with come through on people's expectations faster. Right? If you do things, if you're just known for doing things really fast, you're gonna have a great reputation and your business is gonna be successful. Because we live in a modern age where everyone wants things right now.
Yeah.
You know, and if they don't, it's like, oh, I don't want to work with that guy.
And you can charge a premium.
Yeah, you can charge a premium
That's
for
what
it.
I do. It's and especially the biggest thing is communication fast. Because there are certain things that are outside of my control where I'm like, I just can't get you this thing in 24 hours.
Yeah.
And maybe in my head, I probably need to communicate and build out a system. I'm like, all right, 24-hour turnaround is twice the price. I'll do it. You pay twice the price.
Exactly.
But it's like I can do anything, but it needs to make sense.
That's a great point because you don't want to do the thing because you know you won't get the value associated with doing that thing in that amount of time.
Yep.
You know, because to your point, it's like, okay, I'll do that right this second on Christmas Day at 2:00, but it's 3 times the price or double the price, whatever it is.
Yep.
I'm more than happy to do it right now if you compensate me for it.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. I'm going to start doing that.
And that's what I need to start doing with my clients because I tell everyone it's a 7-day turnaround, and it went from. It's always this ongoing conversation because it was just me. Super simple process. Like there's no clips, and all the clips have AI and they're generic and blah blah blah. And I was like, all right, I can do that in 24 hours. Now it's like, all right, now we're doing all these custom intros and like this long form thing, and where it's a more complex setup. It's like it's hard to do 24-hour turnaround. It's like I can kind of swing it, but then I can't do the clips because they're all like specialized, like they're cut by hand. Like we're sewing something, so we just can't do it. But I can get something in 24 hours turnaround if I want to. If I yell about it. If the ship is like, nah, I'm doing this in 24 hours, I'll get it done.
Yep.
So I'm like, I know I can get it done, but I own the business and I know the ROI of it. So that's why I'm doing it.
Yep.
And it's like a client being like, I want it done in 24. I'm like, what's the ROI here?
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I need to communicate that because it's unfair to not give that same opportunity to the client and at least present it. Because then you can make more money and then they can be happier. Because they might be like, hey, I figured this out too, of that some packages for a client, like there might be a cheaper package, might not be a good fit for them. It's like, no, you actually need this package. It's more expensive, but this is what you need. Because you can do that. It's not gonna do anything for you.
Yeah.
And I'll have that conversation with clients frequently where I'm like, I want to do a podcast. I want to like really grow it. I'm like, okay, once a month isn't gonna do it. Like you're gonna grow a podcast posting once a month on YouTube? It's funny.
No, every day, baby. Multiple times a day. You've always told me that. It's like, dude, if you want to do content really well, you got to post at least 2 or 3 times a day. Let me ask you this question. So we're at about the same level. We both have $1 million businesses. What do you think the difference is between us and like $100 million guy, $100 million guy? Like, what are they doing? Do they know something that we don't know? Or
No,
I don't think so either.
it's just time.
Absolutely.
It's just time. Like, dude, I started in July.
Yeah.
Like, I was at like 10, 20. I basically just had myself a job in July. I didn't have a team. I had nothing. And then I went to 70.
Yep.
That was like it could be a 7, depending on which month it was like a 7X in your business, which brought on a flood of issues of like fulfillment and processes and invoicing and like everything, and like hiring a team and then accountants. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But it's been since July. I'm doing great. So it's that mindset of like, man, if I kept up this trajectory, if we're doing this still.
Yes.
Like
That's what gets me excited in the
Yeah.
morning. It's like, man, we've only been in business for 7 months and we've done all this. Like, man, where are we going to be in 5 years?
Yeah.
insane, dude.
There's so much, and we're laying the foundation for the future now. So I want to build a good foundation to where I can keep funneling. And here's the thing too. I'm running ads for my clients. I had a client close like, he's probably at $30,000. Bro spent $1,000 in ad spend. That is a 30x on your return.
Yeah.
I'm getting clients at 30x. That is stupid money.
And where was that? Was that Facebook, Instagram?
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram, both.
Yeah.
So they're getting a crazy offer, like a crazy good deal right now.
What were they selling?
Software.
Oh, wow. Nice.
SaaS. So it's just, they got a free software license, but they make all the money on the back end through transactions. So I was doing that. I was like, okay, I can make clients a shitload of money. Like this is endless. Like this is a money machine. Because most people don't have the creative figured out. They don't have the idea of what to do.
Yeah.
Or you just gotta be the first person to come to a business and say, hey, have you ever run ads before? There's so many businesses who don't run ads. I'm like, dude, just run ads. Maybe I don't need to be great at it, but I need to convince someone they should do it. And the fact that they even do it is great.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah, I mean, I think there's so many avenues in business that people don't exercise, because they just don't know how to. They haven't had a good mentor, or they haven't been exposed to, so many different things. Like, just meeting you the last, few months is, you're a techie guy, and you know what's out there and what we can leverage. And, for me, I've learned so much. It's like, man, there's so many opportunities that I haven't even scratched the surface with. And we're a $1 million company. Yeah, I mean, sky's the limit, man.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I know one of my skills is I just nerd out. And I find the most obscure tools. I'm like, hey, I want an AI that does this one thing for me so I can automate it.
Yeah.
I go and find it. If not, I try to make it.
Yeah.
And I just get it done.
So like in your off time, like are you doing research on like, okay, what's the new best tools out there? That's super cool.
That's all I ever do. Yeah. Or if I have an idea, a lot of times I'll have an idea. I'm like, I want to make this happen, make it a reality.
Yeah.
I just make it happen.
That's usually what I do. It's like, man, I want this to happen. It's like, okay, I called one of my friends. He's a software engineer, and I wanted to implement this specific process in our website. Where like dealerships can go and type in the customer's info, and it can come directly to the sales person. And I was like, yeah, can you make this? He's like, yeah, super easy, a couple $100. I'm like, cool, But like, it's just a matter of like sitting down and thinking, what can we do to make this business better? What are we struggling with the most, and how much does it cost to fix it? Because at the end of the day, like if every problem can be fixed, it's just, do you have the money to do it?
Yeah.
And that's why like making money in the forefront is why businesses fail. Is if you don't make money, then you can't survive, because you can't fix the problems that you have at hand. And most businesses' problems is just sales. They haven't mastered sales before anything else.
Yeah. Cash flow is the biggest thing for a business. And that's why I'm all about partnerships. I'm about like, let's build the most one-stop shop, complex monster in itself.
Yeah.
So like with my agency, it's like, all right, someone needs business funding. We got to think for that now. If someone needs insurance, we got to think like all these things I'm trying to like flesh out to be that one-stop shop. And it's not because you have the idea of like, okay, if you do everything, you're never great at anything. It's like, or I don't do any of the fulfillment. I just make a group text and then I get a great check.
Hey, meet this guy. And you get commission off of it.
And I just set up that partnership. So I did that little bit of legwork. Like with my funding party here, I partnered with somebody who has a large funding firm. They white labeled it to me because they saw value, I see value. I'm like, I want you to promote this. And now people can turn around, get a loan, use it on my marketing services, and then grow their business.
Yep.
So they could get a loan, spend it on ad spend, and then make that 30x on the return, pay back the loan, and then make money. Yeah.
I mean, one of the thought processes, I think you mentioned this last time, and this is a big part of our business with the dealerships. We just have a bunch of affiliates, just a bunch of people like marketing our product for us. Maybe the mindset shift is not hiring. You have to have employees, you have to have people doing certain tasks. But I mean, what if the main part of the business was just a bunch of people affiliating for you? You don't hire 1099s or salespeople, to your point. It's just you have this massive affiliate network, and you just have people on your side fulfilling it.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I figured out that I've been surprised by is I have a partnership with a blood work company back when I was doing all the fitness stuff. I probably make $50 to $100 a day through affiliates.
A blood work?
Yeah.
What in the world?
Yep. A blood work company. So it's like they use my code.
Yeah.
And then I get a commission check every time.
Yeah. Dude, that's all day.
It's great.
Yeah.
Made quite a good chunk of change on it.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's like, okay, the affiliate stuff works well. I just need to put energy into it. Now, I spent a lot of time building out that portal, like a large, probably like maybe 3-4 months. Just like, and I DM'd like 100, 300 influencers a day. I was like, hey, sign up, and I get commission on all their sales, and I get commission on my own sales. I have this giant network. So with any company I have, I'm trying to get a network for everything. Like promote my marketing services, promote my this thing. I'll give you a check. I don't care. I'm very open to give up a large percentage of my money because I know the LTV of the client will get it back. Yeah. Or the fact that working with someone else will introduce them to someone else. So it's all those like, how can I make the most amount of touch points as possible to scale my business?
Yeah. And I mean, having an affiliate, a really good affiliate program, that all comes back to offer. Wouldn't you agree? Because if you don't have a good offer for them, like what's in it for you? You know, how are you helping me? Am I making any money off this? So like, how did you construct your offer to build that affiliate up?
So what I do is if you refer someone, you get a lifetime commission. That's what I tell them. So if someone spends $1,000 with me, I make 500, you'll get 20% of that 500 in perpetuity for life.
Wow.
As long as that customer is active. And if they do that, I make that sale.
How do you manage that?
I just have it. It's not a super big structure right now.
Yeah.
I have a fairly high ticket right now. So it's like, it's $5,000.
Yeah.
So I have like maybe 3 or 4 people that are like in that structure. And a lot of people just haven't taken it yet. Because I tell them like, guys, this is the affiliate structure. They're just like, okay. And I'm like, someone's going to hear that and run with it.
Yeah.
They're going to go to the moon. Because some of them have. Like I have some people that just send me referrals. I don't think I'm paying them. I was like, dude, can I pay you? And they're like, nah, just keep doing your thing. Like,
I love coming across people that just do things out of the kindness of their heart. Genuinely. It's very rare, but it's like, man, I just want to help you out. It's like, oh, dude, thank you. You know, you're so used to people asking you for stuff like, oh man, I want money. And one of my mentors told me that. He's like, Caleb, if you'll just help people and expect nothing in return, you know, people will value you, and certain doors will open when you won't think they will.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of a cool insight.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'll do. So all of my content is that. So everything I do, the goal is to be that free value.
I think the content game in general, wouldn't you think?
Yes.
Just trying to offer as much free value as possible without asking anything in return. That's why Hormozy's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a bunch of books. He sells a couple things, but I mean, at the end of the day, most of his stuff is free.
Yeah. And the thing is, my business has no gate-kept secrets.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell everyone I'll break it down. I'll break it down for you. You can do it. I know you're not gonna. Like Gary Vee. Gary Vee's like, I'll tell you how I do it.
Yeah.
I know you won't because you're lazy or you're just not as interested.
And what do you think the difference between those two people are? Like the people that will tell you the secrets and that have done it in the past, and the people that know the secret but just won't do it.
I think people like us just lack. We don't have something other people have. We lack what they all have.
Yeah.
We lack being content.
Lack thereof.
We lack being happy with what we have.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we were happy with everything we had, we probably wouldn't work so hard. But I'm not, which is why I'm working so hard.
Yeah, exactly. But even the people that, I think about this a lot of times, the people that we kind of want to be like, the people that are at 100 million or even a billion, you know, that have accomplished our goals. It's like once you get to that point, what else? There's always what's next.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of people talk about that ultra successful people. It's like, I guess the goal isn't a specific number. It's not a specific, one thing. It's always onward and upward. It's always forward.
It's progress.
You never stop. The goal is progress.
That's all we want. I mean, I
it's not about being the richest person in the world.
Yes, I noticed that because a lot of people say video games or things are like a total waste of time. And I think video games can reveal something about yourself. Because I know for me, it's like, I just like building things. Like I would build computers. I would do a game to progress in the game.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to play video games. I wanted to progress in something. And then when I was self-aware of that feeling of like, I just want progression, then I took that feeling and applied it to different things. It was like, if I can just progress, then I'm happy. If I can just move
Don't you
forward.
think that takes a lot of pressure off yourself? We want pressure. I think pressure is good for us. It builds diamonds. But at the same time, if you can just get yourself in the mindset, if you're out there and you're worried about starting something, you're worried about it's going to fail, it doesn't matter. As long as your mindset, let's just get better. Let's just progress, right? And if that's always your goal, I mean, do you see a world where someone is not successful if they have that mindset? Just get better. Just progress every single day.
Yeah, it's easy. I mean, especially if like you get 1,000 touch points in a day. Like if someone's like, hey, I want a contract, I want this, or this communication wasn't here. I'm like, okay, great. What am I going to change in order to make this not happen again? What am I going to learn from this thing?
Yeah.
And these are all opportunities to grow. Like someone just pissing me the fuck off. It's an opportunity to be like, all right, I'm never going to work with them again. That's great.
Yeah.
And then I can stop being pissed off.
Yeah. Or, okay, why am I upset right now? And
Yeah.
what can I do to never be or have this feeling again?
Yeah.
What happened? What led me to this point of being upset?
Because I hate being upset. That's like one of my number one most unliked emotions. I like to be very level. I don't want to be in an emotional state that's risen, because in my head, for every rise, there's a correction period. So if I feel really, really good, you're going to feel really, really bad as a correction period.
When you get upset, that word, like, let's be more specific. When you get upset, do you get like physically like angry, or does your energy levels drain where it's like you just need to sit down and you're overthinking?
It's a little bit of both. It's weird. In a nice way, I'm very aggressive of like, my brain will just fantasize of like,
me too,
all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah.
All kinds of crazy shit that would keep me locked up in jail. And I think partially is because I just know I can do a lot of stuff. I'm like, I can pick up a 300-pound boulder and throw it. I'm like, I could definitely break you in half if I wanted. Not that I ever would.
Goodness,
break anyone
bro.
in half, but I've thought about it. Probably you. You should know about this too. But it's just like, I get that like just worked up. And I think it's I get annoyed that the emotion gets so riled up that I can't control it anymore. And it's like, now I'm just fucking like, all right, you want to fucking go? And then I get annoyed that I'm not managing myself, because I have a lot of pride in being like, all right, I can stay level headed. I can be cool. And I'm really cool most of the time. And then that one thing just like tips me over, and I'm like, but I know for me, I can manage things better when I go to the gym and when I do all these things. And that's why it's like, it's a full view of my life of like, all right, all these things play a role into me being this better person. And if I don't do them, it's like an equation. If I'm cooking a meal and if I forget the salt or all this thing, it's going to be a less nice meal. Me as a person, I need all of these things. And if they're not here, I can't be the best boyfriend, be the best boss, be the best thing. So, politely go fuck yourself. I'm going to do my thing. And then I'm still going to win. Yeah.
I think to me, like, I get more like it drains energy from me when something really doesn't go my way. It's like, then I really overthink. But the thing that's really helped me is I get into the mindset, whatever you're going through, whether you think it's the worst thing in the world or not, just know that someone has been in this identical situation a million times over.
Yep.
And they got through it with tougher circumstances.
Yep.
That's what's really helped me. And another thing, you said going to the gym. When I get in that state of mind where I'm overthinking and I'm really upset about something and I can feel the energy leaving my body, I just got to go move around. Like drop and do 10 push-ups immediately, or go to the gym. Because if you sit and drown in your own thoughts, you're just going to go deeper and deeper down that rabbit hole, and it's just not good for you.
Yeah. People like talking about stuff.
They love to talk about stuff.
And I had a conversation, funny, all these conversations we're having now, we talked about yesterday, but don't say something twice to me. I heard you the first time. If someone's like, I'm disappointed, they go off. I'm like, cool, shut up. I heard you the first time. Let's go do something else.
Yes.
Like, you want to go do something about it, or you want to keep talking about it? That's why whenever a client, this is the big thing where when people work with me, present an issue and then we go to a solution. Not present an issue and tell me about your feelings. Because I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about my feelings. Because feelings are this. They're little waves that come and go. There's no solidity to them.
There's no value to it.
There's no value. It's just an emotion. And all emotions at the end of the day are just these reactions to all these different things. What's not a reaction is building a $5 million business. Or what's not a reaction is getting you 600 videos made for your personal brand.
Yep.
So let's focus on the solution here. Let's focus on the progress. Which for me, I know it's hard too, because a lot of other people just aren't as detached from their emotions as I am. And you'll talk to a therapist and be like, maybe it's coping mechanism, whatever it is. But I just feel like emotions slow people down so much in business and in life.
Yeah, it governs people. And why do you think most people, when something upsets them or they feel like they need to tell you something, why is it feelings based rather than like action based? Because logically to us, it's just like, look, we have a problem. This is how we're going to fix it. Let's move forward. Let's stop talking about it. Yep. Yes, we have to talk about it to get a plan together to execute that. But at the same time, let's stop talking about it. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Whether it's relationships, business, etc. Why do you think people cling to those feelings?
Because people, I think they feel like they deserve to be heard. They deserve these things. You deserve death. You want something that's guaranteed that you're gonna get, no matter what you do in life, that you're gonna get, you're gonna die. So that's what you get to earn, is death. You don't get to earn anything else in life. You don't. It's all just gonna happen. Like, you can get hit by a car tomorrow. Oh well. So when they bring up their feelings into it, because they feel like they deserve that space to share it. That's somehow an agreed upon thing that they're like, I should just have, like, I have the right to do this. It's like, what gave you the right?
Yeah, deserve, I think, might be a strong word in like that context. I think it's not necessarily deserve. It's more of like, hey, I've never been heard my whole life. I want to be heard, you know? Maybe some people, it's like, hey, you know, I'm in a position like you need to hear me. You know, I'm talking to you. Like, I deserve to be heard. I get that standpoint. But I think most people, when they're excessive, when expressing their feelings, it's that they've never been heard their whole life and they just want someone to listen to them. But as the leader, if you're in a position as a leader of a company and you're making very important decisions, you better not lead by feelings, or you're gonna be in for a long ride.
Yeah. Well, and for everyone out there who feels that, I guarantee you, it's probably 100,000, millions of people are this. There's very few people that are probably as attached as I am in this sense, but they need to give that space for themselves. You need to hear yourself with your feelings. You do that, you'll be okay. And that's the funny thing is, like, I'll say all these things of like super harsh, like, you know, go fuck yourself. You don't need those feelings. Also, hear yourself out. Don't judge yourself. Have space to feel for you, because you have to live in your head all day. You have to deal with your thoughts.
Or even having specific people in place where if you need to get something off your chest or your heart, you know, that person is there for it. You know, I think you need to be very careful in this life what you tell people. Like,
Yeah.
You know, specifically, like if you're telling someone, like your boss or another colleague, I think women specifically, they tend to dump their feelings, you know, towards their friends, and someone that they might not even trust. You know, I'm very careful of what I tell people. You know, if it's something personal that's very important to me, you know, I'm telling you in confidence, right? And I don't want you to tell anyone else, you know? And I think you just, in life, just be very careful what you tell people, because it does matter, you know? And when you're telling someone something that's relatively negative or that could affect your life, I think it takes energy from you as well.
Yeah. It's just draining to talk about the past.
I hate talking about the past. It's one of my pet peeves, bro. You just hit something. I hate it.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's like going backwards. Everything should move forwards and up. I hate talking about backwards.
And just to be clear here, the past is 5 seconds ago. The past just happened now. It is always the past. So stop bringing it up.
Yeah.
Because what's it going to add? That's what I'm curious about.
I appreciate memories. I appreciate good times, you know, but like, for example, the 65-year-old guy that never did what he wanted in life, you know, because he just didn't take the risk. He's always talking about his high school days or things that he did do, right? And there are certain things, you know, that you do appreciate in your life that you want to be grateful for, that you want to have gratitude for. But at the same time, you know, what are we doing right now? You know, it's in a religious standpoint, it's like, you know, we appreciate what God has done in the past. We look forward to what he's going to do in the future, but what's he doing right now? Because that's the most important thing, right now. In all aspects of life, you know, from a religious standpoint, from a business standpoint, and a personal standpoint, you know, where are we at in the present?
Yeah, that's a big part. I mean, if you're talking to somebody, if they've wronged you in the past, if someone's done something to hurt your feelings, okay, and you're gonna keep talking about it? Like, man, I've lost probably $1 million at this point from a business. Okay, whatever. I've brought up things in my past that people have gotten more mad about than I have. And I'm like, what are you mad about? This is my past. Shouldn't I be mad about it? And if I'm not, should we not talk about it anymore?
I wonder why the past does rile most people up, you know, things that have wronged certain people. Like, I'll give you an example. I've got this massive scar on my eye right here. You probably can't see it from here, but crazy story. I was at Anytime Fitness, the gym, and there was a barbell. I was using the Smith machine doing bench press, and there was a barbell that I didn't see that was leaning on the Smith machine, right? It was just leaning.
Yep.
Someone put it on the barbell machine, and I get down and I start warming up. And the bar slips off the machine, dude, and hits me in the eye.
Yeah.
Dude, I could have died. If it would have hit me in the temple, a 45-pound bar just boom.
Yeah.
And I found out later that my friend put it there earlier, dude. And I'm like, dude, are you an idiot?
Yeah.
You know, and it's one of those things where, you know, my dad was pretty upset about it. It's like, dude, this guy's an idiot. Like, what was going on? And for the longest time, I was a little upset about it. I'm like, it happened for a reason. You know, there's no reason to look back on the past and hold grudges because it just doesn't matter. You know, that thing happened for a reason. And to your point, whether you lost $1 million or you got hit in the eye with a barbell, that thing happened for a reason. And for whatever reason that happened, it could accelerate something else in the future that could benefit you. You losing that $1 million could have made you $100 million in 10 years. You just don't know yet.
Yeah. Well, and that's what everything is. It's all an opportunity to grow.
Yeah.
It's all a situation where you're like, all right, where can I learn from this? And also maybe it's this. Maybe for me to have this crazy life, I'm just going to have to experience more pain than people.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's a useless pain.
Yeah.
But I just have to, because I'm not allowed to have this crazy, amazing thing, because if everyone had it, then it wouldn't be that valuable. So it probably should be more painful.
Yeah. And I understand there's, to that point, you know, people like Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they've built these unbelievably successful businesses, multi-billion-dollar businesses. I often think to myself when I look in there, like, what kind of pain and suffering did those guys truly go through? And obviously, you know, there's a certain aspect of timing. You know, luck might be a word. Not really. I don't think with those type of guys, there's not much luck involved. They're that skilled. But at the same time, you know, it's hard for me to imagine, you know, just a little bit I've been in business and the things that I've went through. Like, what have those guys went through? You know, and it just interests me and it excites me, you know, for the future of like the opportunity to build a really big business and, you know, to have some really cool stories at the end of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure Elon Musk has some pretty crazy stories.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, dude.
Well, Caleb, I think we're just at the hour mark. I have more clients I have to set up for today.
Let's do it.
It's great having you on. What's next for you?
Hire. 2026 is going to be a year of hiring. We're going to build out a team. We're going to build out more processes. And hopefully I won't be doing 30 quotes a day.
Smart.
Myself on my
Okay,
computer.
so who are you looking to hire exactly? If someone's listening to this,
Yeah.
they see this.
Yeah.
Tell them.
So if you are out there and you want to make money, right? If you're motivated to be a part of something that's going to shoot to the moon, right? I'm looking specifically for an inside salesperson that I'm going to pay really well, salary plus commission. If you can focus, if you can get on your laptop and just quote, I'm looking for that. 1099 salespeople that want a really good side hustle or that want to do it full time, and a really good customer service rep. So everybody and everyone.
There you go. Sweet. Thanks for being on.
Yeah.